It's important that everyone choose companies that align with their core values, because when you're a dividend investor, one tends to buy and hold forever. I'm in this forever. I'm never selling. And so I better buy companies I align with, because if I don't, I'll be tempted to sell them, especially if things start going downhill. Hey there, subscribers. This is Ian Lopuk, and I'm back with another video about dividend growth investing. Today's video is yet another response to one of your questions. Please keep them coming. I have a huge backlog of questions, but I will get to every last one of them. So today's question is about socially conscious investing. For those that don't know, socially conscious investing means that if they are a socially conscious investor, they typically avoid stocks or companies that they perceive could be doing bad things out there in the world, any kind of negative things. Those are the types of companies that a socially conscious investor would avoid, and then they would steer towards companies that they think are doing good, at least not doing bad, or hopefully doing really good things out there in the world. So this question came through, and the subscriber asked, "Hey Ian, what do you think about that? Are you a socially conscious investor? Sounds like you own a lot of big blue chip companies in your dividend stock portfolio. How do you vet out those companies? How do you feel comfortable sleeping at night owning those companies, being a shareholder in those companies?" And just as some background, I am a dividend growth investor. I invest for dividends and cash flow. And so what that means is I literally buy stocks. I never have the intent of selling them, and I hold them for a long, long time so that their dividend income, it keeps growing each year, and I receive dividend checks in the mail. And one day I will live off of those dividend checks. And so this is a great question. This is such an important question because I feel like there is so much misinformation on this topic out there, and I want to share how I approach this topic. So as I always do, I've got my notebook. I jotted down some notes. I'm going to go through them today. Before I even get into whether I am a socially conscious investor or not, it is such a nuanced question. It's so hard to put a label on something. I just want to go through the way I look at things. First and foremost, I believe in the power of choice. I believe that everyone out there, every consumer, should be able to choose what is right and wrong for them. I don't think the government should be making that choice. I don't think a company should be making that choice. I don't think anyone should be making that choice. I think everyone, you, me, everyone out there, we can make our own choices. We should have the power of choice. Okay, what else? I also believe that everything in life should come in moderation. There are a lot of activities out there when one does them too many times, too regularly, they could be harmful. However, if one enjoys those activities responsibly, in moderation, they're just fine. And not only just fine, they can greatly improve the quality of one's life and enjoyment. It's like splurging on oneself. I also believe fundamentally that good deeds go rewarded. That companies, people out there that do good in society, they help others, those companies are rewarded, those people are rewarded, and they are incentivized to do good things and to strive towards greatness. So, when it comes down to investing, I don't want to put a label on myself. What I literally do is I take these 3 meta-level principles and I look at each stock on a case-by-case basis, and I always keep an open mind. I think it is so easy for people to have a closed mind. I always try to keep an open mind. And I really want to avoid just blanket level judgment. I think there are certain industries out there where many socially conscious investors, they're like, I am just steering clear of that industry because it's bad. But who are they to make that judgment, and who are they to make these blanket statements? So I'm just saying, when I approach things, even if something seemingly has a bad reputation, I'm not going to just assume that everything is wrong. I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to look at it very logically, and I'm going to make a case-by-case basis. Now, of course, if you've been watching my channel, I care about people. I care about helping and doing good. This is one of my greater purposes. And so there are certain companies out there where I wouldn't invest in them because they don't align with my core values. And I think it's important that everyone choose companies that align with their core values, because when you're a dividend investor, one tends to buy and hold forever. I'm in this forever. I'm never selling. And so I better buy companies I align with, because if I don't, I'll be tempted to sell them, especially if things start going downhill. And I can't marry companies where I don't trust them, I don't believe in their values. And so that's an important point that everyone take home as well. But I think all of that being said, it's important to always keep an open mind. So let's take a few examples here. Oil companies. Many socially conscious investors say, I couldn't possibly invest in an oil company. They do so much bad out there. They do so much bad in the world. However, who am I to judge whether the oil company is doing bad or not? And an example of this is, if I didn't have access to my vehicle, my car, to be able to go to work, to be able to drive, I'm in the real estate industry, I'm a real estate professional, a commercial real estate developer. I'm always out there going and looking at properties, and properties that I'm personally developing, I need to check in on these properties and make sure the construction is going properly. How could I do that without my car? My car uses oil, my car uses gasoline. And so the fact of the matter is, there are two sides to every coin. It's not a one-sided judgment. Another example, our world is more connected than ever before, and it's becoming even more connected. I love that. One of the ways that it's become more connected is through air travel. Airplanes rely on gasoline, on oil. And so, again, I think as a human species, we need to be conscious of how much oil we consume. Maybe we're on the path towards too much, maybe we're not, I don't know. But what I do know is that without oil, many, if not most of us, wouldn't be able to share our gifts with the world. We wouldn't be able to do our jobs. We wouldn't be able to do the things that are adding value. And so all I'm saying is there's two sides to that equation. Let's look at another example. This is an interesting one. Tech companies. Everyone thinks that these tech companies are great. And I do too. I come from a technology background. Good example is tech marketplaces. We can buy goods online now. You can buy them for really low prices. It saves us a lot of time. We don't have to go to the store anymore. Everyone's got more time because these products now come to our houses. Great. That's a lot of good. However, what's happening out there? Physical storefronts are starting to close. Certain physical stores, brick and mortar stores, are failing. Certain small businesses, local businesses, are having trouble struggling with the economies of scale that a huge online marketplace has. They just can't compete. There's an awful lot of automation out there. In the next coming decades, there are jobs that will be automated. Hopefully, the jobs that are automated will free people's time up to do even more exciting jobs, but I don't know. And so the fact of the matter is here's an example where, is it socially conscious to invest in it or not? There's two sides to the equation. It's give and take. And so these are very complex judgments. And by the way, on oil tech and my next example, I'm not trying to pass any judgment here. I own oil stocks. I own tech stocks. Next example is going to be the restaurant industry. I own restaurant stocks. I'm not trying to pass judgment or say anything good or bad about these companies. I'm just trying to say that there are two sides to these equations. And so just saying blanket statement, oh, I'm socially conscious, I can't do it. Well, it's tough. And quite frankly, as if one makes these blanket statements, the type of stocks that one is driven to, like maybe tech industry, are those really socially conscious? Are they a better alternative? It's so hard to say. But net, it brings me back to my original principle that the companies that are adding value out there tend to be rewarded over the long run. The people that are doing good tend to be rewarded. I believe that people are rewarded for doing the right thing. Anyways, let's go to another example, fast food. So this is the classical example. If one eats fast food in moderation, it's a good thing. We all like comfort food from time to time, and comfort food meaning it's not necessarily the healthiest food for you, but you know what? I'm really hungry. I had maybe a day that wasn't so good. I want to just sit down and eat that hamburger. And you know what? That's a rewarding experience from time to time. It's a really fun experience. Maybe I want a milkshake with that hamburger. Nothing wrong with that. Now, if I did that every day, it would be a different story. So if I were a social conscious investor, maybe I would say I'm not going to invest in a fast food or a restaurant chain like that. But I feel like that is very much a sweeping decision, because if I'm saying that, I'm just saying that these restaurants shouldn't exist. Consumers like you and me shouldn't have the choice to be able to go there. We shouldn't be able to splurge. We shouldn't be able to reward ourselves from time to time. Who the heck am I to say that? It's crazy. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting a little bit heated on the video today. You can tell I'm a little bit passionate about this topic, but I believe in moderation. So I think what it all comes down to me is we all need to do the right thing. We're all placed here for a purpose. We need to add value. We need to help others. We need to be good friends and neighbors. And I really, really live that mantra in my life every day. Or at least I aspire to. I strive towards it. And am I a socially conscious investor or not? I don't really know. I can't place a label. Do I look at every stock and make sure that it aligns with my values? Yes. Do I believe in power of choice, moderation, and that good deeds go rewarded? Yes. Are all of these analyses complex? Incredibly. They're incredibly complex. So if there's one or two things I say to take home from the video today, is that don't necessarily jump into a bucket and just say, oh, I'm going to be socially conscious investor, because it may actually not achieve the goals. I'm not even talking about financial goals. I'm talking the values-driven goals that one is even intending to, because these analyses are so complex, if not impossible to make. And that's one. I think two, strive to invest in companies that align with one's values, especially if you're a dividend growth investor, you're in them for a long time, because you're basically marrying these companies. And don't be so quick to judge. I think it's really important to look below the surface and to see all of the factors on the table. If you liked the video today, I please invite you to subscribe, to like, to comment. All of that means the world to me. It fuels my channel. It keeps me excited about producing content here on YouTube. Before I leave, just a friendly disclaimer. This is not investment advice. I'm not a licensed investment advisor. Today's video is just for your fun and entertainment. If you are going to go out and purchase stocks or any other investments, please do consult a licensed financial advisor first. My name is Ian Lopuck. I am from ppcian.com, and I will see you in the next dividend investing video.